This is the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Voyager class Optimus Primal. Here's a quick look at the packaging. Quite possibly the most anticipated figure for Wave 1 of the Kingdom line. A lot of collectors are going to be after this one. This one and Rat Trap, I think, are going to be the most sought after. If you're a big fan of the Beast Wars. But yeah, looking very nice. One of my favorite Beast Wars characters and Beast Wars toys was the Optimus Primal. Very happy to have him once again. And here is Optimus Primal out of packaging, and the figure turned out great. Oh my goodness, this figure definitely does what it needs to do to represent that vintage figure from the 90s Beast Wars Optimus Primal. The details are amazing. Hasbro and Takara Tomy got it, nailed it with the details, with the textured skin, gorilla skin on him. I like this one a lot better than the Masterpiece. Masterpiece was a little bit too smooth, though it was very cartoon accurate. Despite not being as cartoon accurate as the Masterpiece, I do like that textured gorilla skin or fur on this figure. The paint-apps came out beautifully. There's hardly any paint issues to complain about, except for a few bits and pieces of the white paint on the face sculpt, but that's acceptable. You get some smudging, just a very few smudging of the white paint apps, but it's understandable. Hasbro's always been lacking in terms of quality control with the white paint, but overall, paint apps, I'm very happy. Sculpt wise, this is an amazing sculpt. The engineering of the transformation, I think they got it right with this figure. Probably my biggest gripe with this figure, if at all, is its size. It feels a little too small to be a Voyager, and in fact I think he just scales just a little bit too small with the Beast Wars Megatron, the Kingdom Megatron. But who am I to judge it, right? Who am I to complain about it, right? I'm pretty sure Hasbro thought about it and did some research, and I'm sure they nailed the scale correctly, but I do wish the figure could have been a little bit bigger. We'll talk about the scale later when we do some size comparison, but suffice to say, this is a brilliant figure. You can clearly see the details, the posability, and all that. Now, before we continue with anything else, the figure came with, my figure at least, came with the Autobot Arc trading card. Can't I get a Primal? Was it too hard, Hasbro? Anyway, let's talk about the details of this figure. Right here, you can clearly see he's holding both his swords. It's not in the instructions, and I just try. It's sort of like a custom grip that I have on him. You can't really make him grip both swords. I just stuck this other sword at the base of his hand. This one I just moved it a little bit upward so to give space, but it still won't hold. What you need to do is just squeeze that handle in with his fingers right here. If you don't do that, it's not going to hold. So you got to squeeze in. It's literally these fingers that are holding onto this blade. So it is possible to do the double-bladed Darth Maul sword grip on both of the swords, but yeah, I wouldn't advise it too much because it's pretty loose. It's not that tight. So you can hold both swords like this, and just like in the old Beast Wars toy, you can actually store the swords on the back. Right here, there are peg holes right there. Okay, no, did it wrong. Okay, so yeah, okay, pretty cool. And he's got a slew of other weapons, just like in the old toy. You can pop the shoulder cannons right here, but you got to pop out the back part like that. And then these guns, they're supposed to flip out. Let me see if I can just stick them out like this, because in ape mode, obviously they stay right there. not the best gimmick in the world. Shoulder guns right there. The old toy, this whole piece right here, the guns are concealed by a piece of the gorilla, and they just flip out like that. A flick of a button, you flick of a switch, they all flip out like that. That was pretty cool. It's a cool gimmick, but I think this is more proportioned. I do like the smaller guns on this one. He also has the arm-mounted cannons. In the old toy, you got to open up the forearm and flick those up. This one, you just need to push underneath right here, and they'll raise the cannons like that. What's missing is his grappling hook, or grappling skull, I think, with the mace. That turns into a mace as well, but this one's pretty cool. I do like it this way. The head of Paleotrex kind of looks like his skull maze, but I'm not getting Paleotrex anytime soon, so yeah, I'm okay with this, even if he doesn't have that skull mace, which I'm pretty sure Hasbro down the line is going to repack in a weaponizer pack. Hopefully a Cheetor Guts gun as well. So all the cool gimmicks with this figure. Articulation, he's got a ball jointed neck. He's got a waist swivel. Shoulders, arms can go in and out, forward and backward, bicep swivel, hinge elbow, swivel wrist, articulated fingers. Hips can go this way and that way, forward and backward, hinge at the knee. There's a little bit of a calf swivel. The toes can go up and down because of transformation, and some rocker pivot. This is a very small rocker joint right there. And finally, let's look at the wonderful head sculpt that this figure has. I think this is one of the main things that will really sell this figure. It's a spot-on Optimus Primal head sculpt. I'm so happy with this one. It's a shame it doesn't have any of the face-changing gimmicks and all that, the skull face or the demon face and all that. But, you know, I'm pretty sure Hasbro will, without a doubt, remold this mold or repaint it or do some redeco to include that and more weapons. As per usual, since they usually give out the beta version first, then come up with a more premium, better version later on down the line. So we can, I think, safely expect something like that from Hasbro. And for some size comparisons, here is Optimus Primal with his nemesis, Kingdom Megatron. And he kind of feels small. I don't know why I feel that way. I'm pretty sure Hasbro got it right. I'm pretty sure this is in perfect scale with each other on the show. But I've always felt that Optimus was slightly taller, like here. Like up to the shoulders of Megatron. He wasn't this short compared to Megatron. Maybe like this. I don't know. That would have probably screwed it up because he is a Voyager class figure. And to me, you know how big this Voyager class figure is? Take a look at a Revenge of the Fallen deluxe class Bumblebee figure back in 2009. You tell me this is a Voyager figure. I know. People are saying it's just a price point and it's all that. It's no longer a size. But I can't help wonder why they've shrunk the figure so much. Let me put him off to the side and I'll show you what a real Voyager looks like. This is a Voyager class figure, and albeit it's taken some mold from Titan's Return, Galvatron, but still, it's still in the War for Cybertron line, and they're able to make a Voyager that's this big. So I'm not asking this big, I'm just asking maybe just a little bit bigger, because he just really feels like a slightly bigger deluxe class figure. That's a small nitpick on my part, but you know, overall, it doesn't detract anything from how awesome this figure is. And here he is with the rest of the Beast Wars Kingdom figures for Wave 1. Black Arachnia, Cheetor, and Rat Trap. And yeah, I guess he scales okay with these other two. But with Megatron, just wish he was a little bit bigger. And now to transform him into his Beast mode, or Gorilla mode. Okay, we gotta put the swords away for the time being. All right, and then like how we unfolded the guns, you gotta pull this whole section right here out, like that. Swivel this part right here, and tuck away those blasters, shoulder blasters, and then rotate the this whole head assembly, and then stick this one out, the gorilla head, rotate it this way, and then push it back in, just like that. Okay, and then this one is going to rotate like this. On my copy of the figure, there's a little bit of a gap right here, but it's an easy fix. Just gotta squeeze it back together. Probably the hole for that rivet wasn't bored big enough, so that's fine. Go ahead and fold this back right here. And you can clearly see the gorilla torso and head taking shape, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to fold these down like this. And then the fists are going to go like this. This is going to fold up like this. The waist will rotate just like on the show, how we transform, and even in the old toy. Okay, and then the pistons right here going to help fold up the toes of the robot mode, like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to fold his back flap to form his rear end, like this. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to align the thighs right here, and then you're supposed to bend the feet like this. Okay, let me just tap that in. Okay, and you fold these down like that, like that. Okay, and then the arms are just going to go like this. And there you go. That is essentially the gorilla mode or beast mode for Optimus Primal. It's a little awkward for me. Again, just like the Megatron T-Rex mode, there's a lot of gaps right here. The robot pieces are just not covered well enough. You can stick the weapons right here as well if you wanted to, but that would just be ridiculous. You don't really see a gorilla holding two swords on his back, so we're not going to do that. But yeah, it does what it needs to do. It is a good representation of his beast mode, but you can clearly see right here in this section right here, it's just a little bit too awkward. And yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's just I felt they could have done a little bit more finesse around this area. And right here, it's supposed to be solidly covered, but it's not. In alt mode, you can move his head up and down. Look to the left, right, a little bit. Yep, it's on a ball joint, I think. Oh, a swivel joint right there. Shoulders will retain the arm articulation. The monkey arms are gorilla arms are gonna retain the robot mode's articulation. The feet, they kind of stay like this. They don't really do much. They're supposed to be pegged in, but if you want him standing, I guess you could do that. You can do it this way. The instructions don't say anything about him in a standing position, so I guess you could do this like that. And it still feels weird because on the show he was standing up, and he would speak with the other Maximals in an upright position. So I guess you could do that. But again, it still feels awkward, a little bit awkward. It works. I'm not complaining too much, but I just think it could have been better. It could have been done so much better than just leaving bits and pieces hanging out here and there. So yeah, still a pretty decent upright beast mode. And for some size comparisons in alt mode or beast mode, here he is with his fellow Maximals, Cheetor and Rat Trap. It's a good scale. He just beside Rat Trap and Cheetor right now. He kind of looks like a deluxe class because of how small he is even in alt mode. that. And here they all are with Predacon leader Megatron. So yeah, okay, the scale kind of works. You know, back in the day I did have the original Beast Wars Megatron and Optimus Primal, the old 90s toys, and they were almost the same size. They were both ultra class figures, and they were not this far off in terms of scale. But you know, Hasbro is trying to get everybody in scale, so I guess it's all right. I'm pretty sure, you know, they got this one right. And so some final thoughts on the Kingdom Optimus Primal. I think it's a great figure. I think it came out great. It does definitely what it needs to do. Is it a substitute for the Masterpiece figure? Well, definitely not. I still think the Masterpiece figure is one of the best Optimus Primal figures out there. If you're really looking for a premium figure, that is the way to go. If you are on a budget and you just need to get your hands on an Optimus Primal figure, then this is the figure you want to get. It's not as expensive. It'll do what it needs to do. It looks great on the shelf. The engineering is spot on. The details are great. Hasbro nailed it with this figure. As a mass retail Optimus Primal, I think it's a great figure. My only comment, as I mentioned earlier in the video, was I wish it could have been a little bit bigger. In scale and in heft as a Voyager class figure. But other than that, the figure is fantastic. It is going to get a 9 out of 10 for me. Best of luck to everybody hunting it down. I'm sure it's going to be one of the first figures to fly off the shelves together with Cyclonus. As far as ranking these Beast Wars figures for the Kingdom line, from my top favorite, or I think the best figure, down to the lowest. Top spot is still going to go to Rat Trap, with Optimus Primal coming in second. Third would have to be Beast Wars Megatron, or Kingdom Leader Class Megatron. Black Arachne will get number 4 spot, simply because of all the quality issues the figure had. If it did not have those issues, those breakage issues it had, I would have probably given it the 2nd place or 3rd place at least. And finally, last place goes to Cheetor. Cheetor did not the figure just didn't do it for me. There's so much lacking in that figure. I wish they could improve it in the repaint and repack. I don't know, maybe give it a new mold or a new weapon, but Cheetor just didn't do it for me. So there you have it, folks. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Optimus Primal from the Kingdom line. Is he as impressive as I thought he was? Do you think I was a little bit too biased on the figure, or you think I was too hard on the figure? Let me know in the comment section, and as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe, and if you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching.